Jesus Christ. It's like fucking cat shit in my mouth. The hell day is it? Oh, damn. It's Friday. And there's a cold beer in my hand. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. Little big guys and little chairs. We are your hosts. I am El Blanco Diablo. To my right is the effervescent Captain Colonel. And to my left is the man who doesn't need an introduction, but will get one anyway. The Dark Wizard Sarcastro.
Effervescent?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's a fun word to say.
Okay.
We'll go with it.
So, we were sitting around the office, and we were, we got talking about superheroes, and Captain Colonel here was saying the Hulk was the best, and Sir Castro over there threw in Wolverine. Very popular answers. Evidently, I'm the only person who remembers the Spectre. That's my favorite, personally, but
well, the Sphincter sucks.
I am fairly sure I didn't say that word, but you know,
I'm pretty sure you said Sphincter.
I'm pretty sure you said that too. I'm not. Yeah, I'm rolling with Sarcastro here.
Okay, well, the Spectre.
Sphincter.
That's something else.
What does the Spectre do?
Well,
Vengeance.
It's part of the anal cavity that releases feces.
There's a lot of superheroes that go for vengeance, like Moon Knight, but Moon Knight is
Dumb?
No, Moon Knight is just
Whoa, there's a little bit of anger on that.
No, Moon Knight is just he belongs into a mental hospital. That's where we're going.
Well, he is schizophrenic.
He's like, yeah.
He's not schizophrenic. He has multiple personality disorder.
Yes, he's like he's Marvel's Batman.
Okay, for our listeners out there, Moon Knight, think knockoff Batman wearing white,
and he has magical weapons.
That's gay.
He does have magical weapons.
That's gay. Then that means he's not a superhero. Superhero is a person who has the abilities within themselves. The ability to have magic weapons, which, you know, say...
Moon Knight has the ability. He just has the added bonus of magic weapon.
That's gay.
Okay.
Yeah, wait till you hear his name.
Moonlight?
I don't
pretty
recall
sure I heard it.
No, his real name.
I don't.
By the way, I do not know much about superhero stuff, so I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm sorry.
That's why I'm gonna give it to you here. Okay, you ready? You ready? This is Moon Knight's real name, Mark Spector.
Wait, what?
So he's also an anal play.
Well, I mean, I don't want to, typecast him or anything. I mean, maybe.
I mean, he's got magical weapons. I mean, this isn't the fucking Age of Camelot, man. This isn't the Dark Ages. He's not a superhero.
There are other people who've had magical weapons. I mean, look at Thor.
That's a god.
Thor is, he's still a god.
That's a god.
The weapon is magical, though.
Yes.
No, but his weapon was made from a fucking star.
It's still magical. He has a point. But Thor is still a god.
I mean, in the comic books, technically anybody who picked up the hammer could have his powers, and he would just become a dude.
Like the time where Deadpool picked up a fake hammer and just believed in it so much that he actually turned into Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not technically true.
No, it happened.
That's
he
a
turned into Thor.
psychological effect.
Yeah, but he still turned into Thor.
Yes, psychological effect.
Thor pool.
I mean, if we're gonna draw shit, we could draw whatever we want to draw.
Or like that weird moose dude that is actually like Thor's sidekick, but he looks like Thor.
Whoa, Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, I'm
dude, really?
I know about guys, but not necessarily about their names, just like Mike.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm lacking in the superhero.
You're the superhero.
Okay,
you have the most superhero knowledge. We're like on the.
But
I'm like the next level, and then Mike is in the basement.
I will say this.
With the orangutan.
I'm a superhero with a cool ass fucking weapon. It gives me magical powers. Does not count as being a superhero because magical weapons have been reported through history.
So okay,
like
is Green Lantern a superhero? Is Green Lantern a superhero, or is he still gay?
Oh man,
that's not magic. That is a
like,
scientific instrument.
Okay. He gets an item and he gets superpowers from the item.
But,
other than that, he doesn't have any powers.
No, I will say this though. I like Ryan Reynolds as an actor.
Yes.
I think the guy is great.
Yes.
He's a bit of a sarcastic asshole.
Yes.
Awesome.
He
kind of got screwed over by
Oh
The
no,
movie.
that script was horrible.
Okay, he got screwed over by the movie. Okay,
He did.
but I will say this: he was a badass fighter pilot before he became the Green Lantern.
Yes.
Granted, so he had above average human abilities.
Okay.
So I think I wouldn't call them super, but they were above average. Throw on the ring, made him super. Granted,
Okay, he's married now. Okay.
he's not Oscar De La Hoya.
I don't know who that is.
Isn't that the guy like on the Folgers coffee, like with the donkey?
No, Oscar De La Hoya was middleweight and lightweight champion.
I was joking.
Yeah, okay. One of my superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he like
real
really was
human
super.
being.
Oh, he's a boxer?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
A very good
he
boxer.
was.
Okay, I
Very
believe
good
you.
boxer.
I don't
I
follow
don't know. He
boxing.
tried to do that comeback, and that was a little bit.
Yeah, dude,
He
he
was
really
kinda
should
old.
not have done that. But he did have a shitty music career.
He tried his
Yeah,
his
I
way
mean,
around.
he tried. But, you know, he had superhuman abilities in the ring.
Uh-huh.
Like Achilles.
Well, technically Achilles. I mean, he's become more mythological than. I mean,
But
he's an epic hero.
Is it that
Oscar De La
he's the guy
Hoya.
with the Achilles heel that bathed in that stupid shit, and then he had a rose petal on his Achilles heel? That's the only weak spot he had.
No, he got cut in Achilles, and that's why the whole point.
Got
of the
hit
weak
by an
point-
arrow.
Yeah, the arrow, the Achilles weak point, kind of ruined his whole deal.
He was dipped in the river, either Styx or the Lathe. Either way, when you go into that water, it makes you impervious. The thing is,
Another
you
word I
know,
don't
his
know.
Not a
mother
pervert. Impervious.
What does that
dipped
mean?
him into the water, but the thing is, she had to keep a part out because she had to, like, she couldn't touch it. He could touch it, she couldn't. So dipping him in, she had to leave his heel out.
What does impervious mean?
Impervious, impossible to damage.
Oh, okay.
Like Superman's impervious.
Sorry, that's the German part of me. I don't know all the English words.
Hey, I'm English and I don't know all the words. What the fuck's my excuse?
You read a lot.
Yeah, you read a lot.
Well, I do read a lot. I was
You're a
read.
fucking bookworm.
I'm
Chomp.
okay. Either way, so we were talking about
Superheroes.
our personal superheroes, and then we got onto the Green Lantern movie. Which whoever picked Hector Hammond as a villain for that, I hope they just took him out back at the studio and just beat their ass with a fucking hose. That was horrible.
Okay, let's put it this way: who's your your favorite superhero?
Honestly, I'd have to say Batman.
Batman?
Yeah.
Yours?
The Spectre.
Okay, you're
We
staying
covered
with that.
this shit.
Okay, well, but
Yeah,
no,
literally,
you were
he
talking
covers
about
everything in shit because you're talking about, you know.
you were you were talking about him picking Wolverine in a fight and me picking Hulk, but we weren't talking about our favorite superheroes. Because I would probably go with, as you can see, like all the fucking Deadpool memorabilia I have.
You
I would probably go with
literally
Deadpool.
said the Hulk is like my favorite
No.
superhero.
I would say Hulk is like
we
the
are
best
sitting in your
superhero.
living room surrounded by Deadpool shit.
No, Hulk is the best superhero.
Like if
'cause
Ryan
he's-
Reynolds ever breaks down outside your house, like, oh man, I need to find a phone, and like, I don't know, for some odd reason, this is taking place back in the 1960s where not everybody had a fucking cell phone. Like, I need to find a phone, you know, and you know, like, call the operator and ask for a tow truck. No, like, comes up here, he'd like see your living room, it's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna wind up as a lampshade.
I'm not that kind of a person, and you know that.
He doesn't though.
Explain the feces on the wall.
That was
What?
an accident.
That was a joke,
That was an accident.
and you're running with it. Okay.
You're gonna have to live with that. We're gonna run with a lot of shit here.
No pun intended.
Nope.
Okay. Batman. You know what I always wondered? How come no villain, like, okay, it seems like you break out of Arkham and you immediately like, okay, what's my next step? I gotta start working on my next
actually said who's their favorite superhero.
Deadpool.
Deadpool. I guessed that one.
You
There's
guessed it, but
definitely-
you never said it.
There's definitely
I have a lot of
boner
Deadpool.
pool.
Yeah, I have a lot of Deadpool stuff. This is like a coin bank, and then I don't know if you looked over there. I got
I like the little explosiony one.
Oh, okay.
yeah, that one's from Loot Crate, and then I got the other Deadpool, like the pop figure over there that I got from Christina, and oops, oh well, and yeah, I also have that R2D2 over there. So yeah,
I like the R2D2 by the way.
it took a lot of time to build.
That looks complicated as fuck.
So,
And what the hell did the microphone? God damn it, Phil! Are you drunk over there, son of a bitch?
it is past the full moon.
Oh dear God. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So, as we were saying, Batman villains. You break out of Arkham. The first thing you do is start working on your next big plot to fuck over Gotham, correct?
Yes.
How come nobody's first stop is the top of the Gotham City Police Department and bust the fucking bat signal? Now, I'm not saying Batman ain't gonna show up when you pull your shit. I'm just saying, like, right before you do whatever, just send just a random henchman up there. It doesn't even matter if he gets caught. All he has to do is destroy that thing. All of a sudden, you can't call Batman.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, it's like you ever watch those world's stupidest criminal videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rob this place with a banana, right? It's kind of the same thing. I mean, you're dealing with uber genius people, and they go, "Oh man, ooh, yeah," and then you go, "Oh yeah, that's great." I'm pretty sure at some point Joker was like, "Hey, you know, I need you to take this out." But then the guy got, he decided to do it with a banana.
You can't rely on minions for that type of intelligence, though. They're henchmen for a reason. Very straightforward. Trying to give them commands. You got to make sure they're looking you in the eyes, because, if they're over here or over there, this is something you'd have to okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go up the fire escape on the side of the Gotham City Police Department. There's going to be a huge spotlight up there with a fucking bat on it. Now, when you see that, I want you to take this axe and break the damn thing. That's all you need to do.
Okay, going a little bit sidetracking. Batman found the villains before they had the fucking bat signal. So really, would it affect him that much?
That might buy 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it'd buy him some time. I mean, honestly, let's face it, that is a pretty shitty police department.
But if I gotta think about it, honestly, Batman has planned ahead to freaking be able to take out the entire Justice League. Don't you think he would have thought ahead for that scenario too?
I mean, has he actually thought ahead, or has he only thought ahead because he is who he is?
No, he's thought ahead. If you think about the Injustice universe, where Superman goes crazy and he decides to kill the Joker and other characters, Batman is actually the one who has a plan to fight all the other superheroes and actually detain them.
In all fairness, I would, in the Injustice universe, I would say he killed the Joker, then went crazy.
Okay, yeah, but
that was kind of
I mean, the Joker balanced it
and
out.
in all fairness, the Joker
no.
did
It's
kind
not
of blow
Batman
up
that
his
went
city.
crazy, because you probably don't know about that universe. It's
No, I probably don't.
Superman. Joker plants 2 bombs. One in this city, one in Gotham City, and one in Metro City. They managed.
Metro City, is this Mastermind now? Metropolis?
Metropolis. There you go.
Maybe, perhaps. Maybe.
Okay, fine. In the city from Superman. We'll just go with that. Anyways,
It's one of those webcam players where the women have fun with.
Things are moist.
There you go.
Anyways, so Superman comes to Gotham City to help out Batman to freaking destroy the bomb, and then the bomb goes off in Metropolis, wipes out Metropolis. Batman kills the Joker. No, Superman kills the Joker. Did I say that right?
Superman kills
You
the Joker.
said something about
Anyway,
Batman having
Superman
fun with the Joker.
Superman kills
and,
no.
yeah.
Superman kills the Joker, and then he goes crazy and goes into he tries to rule the Earth.
Oh, he wasn't trying nothing.
Okay, he
was
went
doing
crazy
it.
and he ruled the Earth with an iron fist. And Batman was the only hero that did not join Superman, and he was the only one that had a plan to take down all the heroes in case something like that happened.
And what was that plan consistent of?
He had a plan to defeat all the heroes. That's why Superman versus Batman happened.
What was the plan? I mean, seriously, we're talking about Bruce Wayne. This guy developed badass weapons of mass destruction. You know, he's Tony Stark level.
He had an iron suit with kryptonite fists to beat Superman.
Oh, come on. He's beaten up Superman so many times.
Dude,
he might as well just be asking him for his lunch money at this point.
Yeah.
Dude, in the movie, if it wasn't for whatever stupid reason, he was going to take a spear and shove it up his ass and say, hey, this is my newest fucking lawn decoration.
I didn't even watch the movie, but I'm just saying, Batman is the one hero.
How could you not watch that movie?
I haven't yet to watch it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying,
I'll bring it in tomorrow.
Batman is the one hero that can fuck up any superhero in the DC universe.
Well, he uses his brain. He takes a step back and he thinks about what went wrong, how I could have done it better.
Because he doesn't have any superheroes
But he
that he
still
can
needs
rely
a
on.
giant spotlight to let him know things are going wrong.
Well, granted, yeah. I mean,
He's
let's face
only a
it.
human. He can't be everywhere and anywhere. That's why he needs someone to warn him. I'm sure he monitors the police
Dude, it's like a
radio.
Well, okay, let's be honest. Alfred monitors that shit.
Okay.
He's like
yeah.
probably like, I have to keep up appearances, Alfred. You watch the police scanner. What are you going to do, Master Bruce? I'm gonna go plow 5 Russian supermodels because I have to keep up appearances. What an asshole!
And you know, like Superman, for example. I mean, he's working undercover in the damn news agency. Oh, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go get a fucking scoop on that, and then like rips out, and he's in his gay tights.
You ever think like Superman's just a shitty employee?
Dude, he has to be the worst employee of all time because you're like, man, we just got this major news case. I need you on. Got it. You're really gonna report a story this time? Sure. Seriously, not from like weird like stoner techniques. You're really gonna fucking yes. He would be the worst employee of all time.
I get what you're pointing at. With how many stories they pop out for Superman, he does not have any time to show up at work and do an 8-hour day. Because if you think about it,
he'd constantly be cutting in and out.
Exactly, he has to be. But he does have the speed advantage. He could be like, I'm taking.
No, I'm not saying it's like, you know, oh my god, Clark's been gone for like 3 hours. What the fuck? But no, I'm saying, yeah, he probably like has to tell his coworkers he has irritable bowel syndrome. He has to like keep running away to take a dump.
But that's the same with any superhero really that tries to maintain a job in a secret identity.
My God, Lex Luthor's robbing the First National Bank of Metropolis. I gotta take a shit.
Yeah, and then not on top of that, everyone's gonna think, what a coward Clark is. Man, every time something major pops up, I gotta take a deuce. I mean, seriously. I mean, he is the worst employee of all time. So
he has to be.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, think about it. You go. Hey, man, I need you to concentrate on sports. Okay, I'll do it. Great. I gotta take a shit.
Well, what I'm thinking,
I mean, come on.
I don't know the entire game.
It's kind of like bringing me back to like the original like radio show Superman, where like pretty much his catchphrase was like up, up and away. It's been a great, awesome catch line for like the 40s. I have to take a shit.
I mean, come on, seriously, think about it.
Someone's hijacked a train. Gotta take a deuce.
Imagine you're like chief editor, right? Or like the big dog on top of the newspaper, and you got a guy named Clark Kent working under you.
His name's Perry White. He's the editor of.
Can I go off topic?
I'm just saying it's one of us.
Can I go off topic real quick?
Yeah, whatever.
So you know when people say deuces, where did that come? Which expression came first? I'm taking a deuce, or deuces? Sure, I'm leaving.
I'm pretty that.
Well, it started with I got to go make a number 2.
Okay,
yeah.
so
I'm pretty sure that was someone walking in on someone at Woodstock, and they were like, "Dude,
peace is this way, dude."
Yeah.
I know the viewers at home can't see us.
I think like the other way around, it means like
doing
something...
the peace sign. Sarcastra over there did the whole English like V fuck you.
That's why I'm sarcastic.
But like, okay, so deuces came first from pooping. That's what
maybe we don't know.
What came first, the deuce or the poop?
I don't know.
I guess the number 2 explanation comes.
Now, if the first person that actually had to do both at the same time,
you had to leave and poop.
Oh, you get the flu.
I got to do.
You got to pee and poop.
But
so at the
okay,
same time.
no. I can if he has to leave
really
and he has to poop.
Discussing this?
No, I have to leave. I have to poop. I got to go number 2 deuces. That makes sense. So it was both at the same time. So I can.
Oh, you're saying like deuces as in goodbye?
Yes, some people do that.
Yeah, dude, I'm a little bit old for that.
But like, but you do see.
I'm back from the smell
deuces,
you
I gotta
later
take
generation.
number 2. Bye.
Deuces, number 2.
Okay, well it's the same thing, I guess.
Are we really having this fucking
Come on, let's go back to Superman.
Fucking Captain Colonel started this one up. He
I just
signed
had
himself an
questions,
executive
okay?
order, and he decided to hijack the whole fucking podcast for poop.
Anyways, I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh, yes, that was it. So.
You're not quite there yet?
No.
We were talking about.
Beer.
I'm sorry, we were talking about deuces. Something with deuces.
No,
well, we were talking about Superman and his new catchphrase, I gotta take a shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay, that's it. So, like, okay, if any one of us were, like, chief editors, right? And we had this bomb-ass employee named Clark Kent.
I would hate him.
I mean, the guy is great. I mean, he seems to be everywhere, anytime, to write down the fucking meticulous bullshit that we need to sell a newspaper, right? So then, all of a sudden, you're like, hey, Clark, I need you to cover this college football game because it's the biggest college football game because it's who's going to be, you know, between national champions, right? Okay, I got that. Man, I got to take a shit. And then you're just like, dude, you always got to take a shit. I can't hold it. I got to go. And then he leaves, and then he comes back 5 minutes later, and then he's just like, yeah, so here I got this crime thing going for you. I didn't tell you to look that up. I told you to watch the college game, and where the fuck... How did you get this in 5 minutes? Seriously, Clark. Well, when I was taking a shit, I had an epiphany. I mean, he must be the world's worst liar on top of it. So, I mean, it's just...
My question is, can he be a good crime fighter and actually write good articles?
No, you can't do that. I just proved it to you.
That's what I'm...
At least Spider-Man's realistic about it. Like, I just take the pictures, man.
Yeah, he takes pictures, he sells that shit.
So, don't you think he would get fired at some point? He just doesn't. He just doesn't have time. It
depends on what newspaper you're working for. I mean, seriously.
But he does have super. He does have like speed. So he could write shit
okay, if he keeps writing this whole thing off as needing to take a shit because he does have a legitimate medical problem, irritable bowel syndrome, it's a real thing.
We're reaching here.
And this is what we do here on Big Guys Little Chairs. So you're going to, you know, write this whole thing off.
Think about the lawsuit.
You can't fire someone for having a medical condition.
Yeah, I mean,
they couldn't fire him for the medical condition, but they could fire him on the basis that he delivers.
He comes
shit.
He comes.
That's
back
all he does.
With, like, he comes back with like a notepad full of juicy shit, right? And he's just like, "Bam, here you go. Oh, by the way, I got irritable bowel syndrome. I have to take a shit every 10 minutes."
Maybe like, that's why his fucking notepad is full of juicy shit.
But you look at that, and then all of a sudden, like,
shit.
CNN pops up, and you're just like, oh my god, that actually happened. Yeah, Lois, print that shit out.
Print it out, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, he gets away with it because he comes up with some juicy shit, right? Because he's the one doing the juicy shit. But at the same time, we've all had those bitchy employers. We've all had those bitchy employers, right?
Moist.
So, dude, get a bitchy employer. Oh, you gotta take a shit every 5-10 minutes.
Dude, well, okay.
Sounds like one of my guys.
Irritable bowel syndrome, that's one thing. What if he upped his game to Crohn's disease?
What the fuck is that?
Crohn's disease is a degenerative disease of the colon. Eventually, it leaves you with a colostomy bag. Like
Like seriously, you can't control the poop coming out of yourself.
Well, then it causes you incredible.
But then he wouldn't have an then he wouldn't have an excuse.
It's a horrible disease, honestly.
Yeah, but then how is he gonna like walk around the news place with like a fake bag of shit and be like, "I'm Clark Kent. I got this bag of shit. I'm really fucked up," and then look at his watch. I gotta go.
He can't go anymore because doesn't have an excuse. He has a freaking bag next to him. He doesn't have any excuse anymore.
I agree with Colonel.
Okay. Here's the nuclear option. People will buy anything because people can't tell Clark Kent is Superman because he's wearing fucking glasses.
Also,
what
he
the
goes
fuck
into
does glasses have to do with anything?
Also, he goes into a phone booth and changes and comes out as Superman. And people are like, "Oh my god, who the fuck went in there?"
He's into voyeurism. Clearly, he's a pervert. Clearly. Anyways, next question.
Keeps I'm gonna change in the phone booth. I want everybody to see my super cock.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. I mean, he's a clear pervert.
Actually, you know what? We keep talking about Superman taking a shit. Dude, he has to take a super shit. Like a normal toilet can't handle that.
Well, maybe not.
No, we've all had that kind of gassy poop where it's like, and it kind of fires out a little bit. Dude, if he fires that shit out, it's going through 3 buildings.
Yeah, but is he actually going to tell anybody about that?
Tell people
or is he going to walk out and be like, toilet's clear, like a douchebag?
Unless he thinks ahead and has a kryptonite toilet bowl.
That would kill him.
No.
Yeah,
not to mention
it would fuck him up.
Dude,
seriously,
kill him.
He would have a kryptonite ring around his fucking ass cheeks and nutsack.
It just makes him weaker.
Man, that would sit
it makes him
his
human.
Nutsack would be sitting in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Dude, he would be super sterile.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
No,
and Lois
lowers
would
his
not
powers.
buy that shit. Lois would be like, "Oh my god, you got the gayest fucking fake tan on the planet."
You got a green toilet. What the fuck is this shit?
Green Lantern dropped it off. Get off my fucking back.
Oh man.
But seriously, I mean, okay,
wow.
he still has normal bodily functions. He has to take a dump eventually.
Maybe.
He can't do it at work because if he drops that deuce, it's like dropping. He's up on floor 63, and he's gonna drop it down to 0.
Maybe.
But that's what kryptonite does. It makes him.
It's like a fucking Ewok village out there.
But it makes him human. Wouldn't that make sense to have a kryptonite bowl around him?
He comes
just
from a different
lower
planet.
his,
Maybe by them breathing, all the feces comes out in their breath.
No,
Ooh, people getting super poop in their lungs?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
what if that makes them
going the South Park
power?
route? They fucking insert it in their ass and it comes out of their mouth now?
Well, I mean, he's from a different planet.
No. We're saying it comes out of Superman's ass and they go into their lungs. Because when you flush the toilet, I mean, fecal particles do go into the air.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's just science.
Science, bitches.
So the same science, you breathe the same air as Hitler at least a couple times in your life?
No, that science is
it's
gone.
impossible to breathe.
No, the same molecules, yes.
You already breathed that air, so you're completely
No, the same molecules. At some point in time in your life, you will have breathed the same molecules of air that Hitler
exactly what I'm saying is
and breathe the
science,
same
bitches.
It's when you fart, we breathe in your feces.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Question?
I don't even know what we were talking about anymore.
We were definitely talking about Superman.
We went from deuces to Superman to farting.
Yeah, exactly. And this
dude, that's another thing. He has super breath. What if he farts?
Dude, if he farts, that's
what
an
if he
atomic
burps?
blast.
What if he
burping, farting? Basically, he has to take care with
every
question. Bodily function.
Why are we only focused on Superman here?
Because Superman's pretty interesting when you start actually picking the hairs apart.
If you really think about it, Superman is meant to be the perfect hero.
Is he?
The creators...
Okay, but Kryptonite could kill him.
That's his only weakness.
Right.
And not forever. Actually, most of the Elseworlds have told us at a certain age, Kryptonite won't even affect him anymore. Magic won't.
Oh, so he just grows old and ornery and becomes a mean son of a bitch.
His Kryptonian cells absorb more and more radiation from the sun, and the more it absorbs, the more powerful he gets, and he just.
And then
it's not like
So we're gonna have this man going like this with a cane. Clock.
No,
clock.
He doesn't. No, it
Fuck you, Sonny. He doesn't even age.
Sorry,
normal.
Castro. That doesn't happen to him. He goes to the sun at some point, and he just sits in the sun.
He flies into the fucking sun.
He hibernates.
Are you
there.
listening to yourself?
He becomes Superman Prime. He. Yes, that happens in the comics. That happens.
Wait. He
Superman
flies into
Prime,
the effing sun,
and he hibernates there, and he releases his freaking what's it called? Yes,
yeah,
his semen, his little children onto the planet. He's Prime 1, and all the other Supermans are there to protect planet Earth.
All the other Supermans.
Yes, he.
Okay, Superman Prime.
This sounds like
the only
fantasy.
Super Prime I know is Superboy Prime, who is from a completely different universe.
This is above your
Whoa.
knowledge.
Whoa, moment.
Is this New 52 shit?
Yes,
hold on.
Because that shit is all stupid as fuck.
I'm not saying it's not stupid, but I'm saying this.
We got our first nerd face off. Go.
Superman Prime is a thing. Okay, he flies into the sun, and he goes into there, and he stays there until something super shitty happens to Earth.
Relax his throat muscles.
Maybe he stays in the sun until something super shitty happens, and then he comes down because all the other Supermans can't handle it, and he takes care of it because he's been in the sun and he's accumulated all this power over the time that he's been up there. So he's like the super force that is hibernating and just soaking up power the entire time. Because that's what Superman does. He gets his power from the sun.
Well, I mean, okay, there's a few problems with that. First off, I really didn't get into the whole New 52. When they did that whole thing, I pretty much cashed in my chips.
I didn't either. I watched it on YouTube.
It's not much. There's nothing for me there.
Okay.
I'm from the old school, so I don't know much about that. The only Superman Prime I know about is actually a Superboy Prime from Earth Prime.
Okay.
From the multiverse, like the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a bitch. Super powerful, don't get me wrong. And don't anybody ever tell him that I called him a little bitch. Because El Blanco Diablo will die a horrible death. But what it does for me is it circles back to All-Star Superman.
Okay.
Where he got too close to the sun and he dropped his force field. Okay. Now, for those who don't know it, Superman is invulnerable because his body is surrounded by a very thin force field. Now, if he is living in the sun, that means, he's absorbing all that radiation. But in All-Star Superman, he dropped that force field for a moment, and he took in all that radiation, and it eventually fucking killed him. So, I'm just saying that it really
completely fucked him over.
There's no way he could just fit inside the sun. I mean, I guess if he was older.
Well, he is Superman. Why can't he fit in the fucking sun? I mean, he can do everything else.
Oh, it ain't a fitting thing, even though Lois Lane will say something different. Oh,
wait. So you're saying he's a small dick bitch?
No, I'm saying he's hung like when he's taking his super dumps, like the end of his dick gets wet.
Wait.
Or should I say, moist.
So he's got like a KY device on the.
No, his dick is so long it hangs in the water.
That's gross.
It is. I mean, it is definitely a hygiene issue. But I mean,
so what you're saying is
I wouldn't be so concerned with that. With Superman's part, I'd be more concerned about Lois Lane or Wonder Woman because I guess that's the New 52 thing. Yeah, like Superman and Wonder Woman are an item, and like Lois Lane is just like fucked off.
I'm not quite sure about that.
I don't know. These kids and their new comic books.
Superman cannot fly into a star and be like, I got all this power in my ball sack.
Well, absorbing energy slowly on Earth from a distance is one thing. Being in the sun is another.
But that's what they do. Superman Prime also gets a he gets a power which is called supernova, which he can use.
Oh yeah, that's when he explodes, right?
He explodes and then he becomes like normal for like a little while. It's like basically it's his own kryptonite. He becomes normal for a little while and then it's like a super attack. They're adding something to a character that doesn't need anything added anymore.
Is it a character or is it a separate character?
No. Superman, like the actual Superman, they gave him a super attack that could kill anything off around him, but he becomes burnable after using it.
If Superman were to go like on the far distance part of the solar system, fly as fast as he did, and catch the Earth, he could push it out of orbit, completely fucking us all over.
He could.
He doesn't need a superpower.
No.
He already had the superpowers capable of fucking us all over.
He can also turn the time back by just flying the Earth in reverse, apparently. So really, why the fuck add more freaking powers to him? Because when he first started out, the original Superman, if we really go back before Superman was a thing, when he came out of a tube, if you know about what I'm talking about, he didn't have any of those powers that he has now. Like the original 1940s comic, like before the actual Superman became a thing.
Technically, even if he had superpowers when he was that young, I mean, it really wouldn't make much of a difference considering he was still a baby.
No, we're not talking about the baby. I don't know if you know this part, but there was this before Superman, the actual Superman became a thing. There was a part where there was this comic strip that inspired Superman, which is people say he's the original Superman because there was this comic strip where a scientist
did he have a waxed mustache?
I'm not quite sure. But I think that's way before your time. If you're not into superheroes...
Well, clearly it's before our time.
Yes.
Okay. The original Superman also didn't get his power from the yellow sun.
No, he didn't.
Could he fly?
I'm talking about the original Superman. He could super jump. But the Superman before that, he was like there was a guy who created like the serum who could make you into superhuman. That's where the original superhuman came from. And he didn't even have any of all those powers that Superman had. All the Superman powers just like came over time, which
let's be honest. Originally, he started off with the strength and leaping tall buildings single bound, because
which would be strength still.
Basically all his abilities were strength based, because not that he got the power from the yellow sun. He got it because Krypton had 10 times Earth gravity.
Yes.
So he was
already massively stronger than
a normal human. Exactly.
Denser muscle fiber.
Exactly.
He was just designed for a much harsher climate.
Would it make logical sense that over about a 10-year period he would have become a fat ass?
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. No. Sarcastra has a point there.
No, he wouldn't become a fat ass.
No, he would become a fat ass because his half as hard.
No, if you think about it, his muscles
actually like a tenth as hard as he would.
No, he would become really
on
skinny.
His planet, if on his planet it was the 10th of the gravity or whatever the bullshit that fucking Diablo said, right? I mean, being stuck on planet Earth, he's losing 9/10 of what his muscle is needed for. So wouldn't that make him a bitch? A fatty?
Not a fatty necessarily, if you really think about it, because it depends on how much he eats and how much he does. If he were to eat as much as a fatty would eat, then yes, he would become fat. But if he wouldn't work out or do it as much as he had to do, he would just become really skinny and...
But then he would only gain the same mass that planet Earth would allow him to gain.
It depends on his metabolism, if you really think about it. If his metabolism still works the same, he would be fine. He would just, his muscles just wouldn't be as strong as he was used to. He would be really, really skinny without a lot of muscle, but he would be as strong as a normal human being.
Picture this, right? You got a guy named Clark?
I don't think his name matters at all.
Well, Clark Kent, but I think you're going for a facsimile there.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. So you got this guy working for your newspaper, and he's always got to take a shit every 10 minutes, right? And you're trying to figure this whole thing out. As a boss, being the chief editor and all that crap and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, 10 years flies by and you got this big fucking pudgy Clark Kent just sitting there. Yeah, I can do this for you. How would that make you feel?
I don't think it would matter, because if he gets the job done, fuck it.
But he's already a shitty employee. We established this 10 years ago. Now he's fat.
A lot of people are fat and shitty employees.
Honestly, I hear both your points.
But no, but if you think about it.
No, but let me. Sarcastro does have a point. He isn't using his body to its fullest potential on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You know, if he's just walking around grabbing groceries and shit, yeah, he's gonna become a fat fuck. But maybe, this is what I'm getting at, he doesn't give a shit about people. He needed to become a superhero to have a workout routine.
That's what I'm thinking about. He's only maintaining his body because he's doing all the shit. He has to be on all these places and all these different times just to maintain his body.
Imagine
just to not
Lois.
become fat or super skinny.
Imagine Lois. She meets this sexy guy with glasses, and the next thing you know, he's a fucking like Jabba the Hutt kind of character. And she's just like, oh my god, I gotta let this fucking slug mount me.
I mean, I do get your point. It would depend on what he eats. It really depends on what he eats, because if he doesn't eat a lot, if he really eats like a fucking bird, he would be really, really skinny. But if he eats like a normal human being, he would probably be a little chubby. Unless
he's gonna gain a lot of weight because
his muscles need more energy to function.
I mean,
his muscles his muscles are like used to the Krypton, because that's just his evolution. His muscles are used to the planet Krypton. That's why they need more energy to function.
So
he's eating like a normal human being. He would not use as much energy as he needs to, but he would become fatter because he eats as much as a normal human being.
So this is Darwinism in a can.
I guess so.
So he came from this planet, 10 times the gravitational force, muscular, able to sit in a fucking sit in a cubicle and write newspaper articles and save the fucking planet from whatever the fuck is happening, to not gaining weight. I think he would gain massive amounts of weight because his body and genetics are used to that force of pull. My honest opinion. Now, you two obviously have a different opinion.
Well, actually, I'm seeing the point of both sides here. I mean, yes, you have a point. He would become a fat ass. Unfortunately, it's not providing the stress his body needs to keep itself up. But what I'm saying is, he doesn't give a fuck about humanity. He's doing this to exercise.
Dude, he never has. The only thing he cares about is that special moist place in Lois. So, again, we come back to the moist.
Then he fires like a 45 round out the top of her head.
I mean, I think he cares about humanity because of his adoptive parents, but really, I just think either way, if he weren't to be a superhero, he would get fat. If he wouldn't do anything and eat like a normal human being, he would get super skinny, just because his muscles can maintain him being like a normal human being without eating much.
If he were to eat like us at our normal gravitational pull, when his was 10 times stronger, he would still get fat.
Not necessarily. It all depends on how much he eats. If he eats,
we don't actually know what Superman eats.
No, I know.
I mean, as far as we know, he could like to eat toddlers.
Exactly. So you don't know if he gets fat or skinny. But since he is
baby back ribs.
But since he's doing all that
dripping
fighting,
in sauce.
Since he's doing all that fighting, he just maintains a normal body.
Oh goddamn! There's so
although it depends on how much he does on a day-to-day basis. Because really, if he just does one fight a day, I don't think that's enough to cut it to maintain a muscular body like he has.
So did Superman create his own villains to keep himself in shape?
I'm gonna cut this part, and we're gonna go straight into sports.
Okay.
Super Bowl is lingering.
Okay.
We got a couple superheroes on our own hands in human form.
Hey, Sarcastro.
So we're taking this to the lightning round?
Understand when this episode airs, it's going to be a week after the Super Bowl.
That's fine.
So we're taking this to the lightning round. Lightning round.
Okay. Our viewers get to
win?
see.
Can we edit this?
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
We're just going to keep it like this. Lightning round. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Atlanta or
Tom
Patriots?
Brady.
I think Tom Brady too. Hands down. Tom Brady.
He wants the 6th ring. He wants to be Superman.
I think he's the greatest quarterback of all times.
Yeah,
hands
he
down.
wants to be Superman.
El Blanco Diablo over here is horrible with sports, besides professional wrestling. So what I'm going to go with is Superman is going to be in the city where they're playing the Super Bowl, which is which city, guys?
I think they're playing in Houston.
Houston!
Are they
That
playing
sounds
Houston?
like a city
Where's
name.
the Super Bowl at this year?
Oh, God. Now
It is actually
Houston.
I want to say.
Yeah, it is in Houston because they
Yeah.
did this. Yeah, okay, it is in Houston, but I think. Well, Tom Brady, I think, is just going to win the Super Bowl. It would suck if Matt Ryan wins.
You know, if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, he is the best football player to ever play the game.
If you think about it, he already is.
And who closer to a modern superhero that we got other than a person to have the most rings as a quarterback?
I think the quarterback position. I wouldn't even put the quarterback position to like a superhero level because really, if you think about it,
Bullshit. They gotta run half the fucking team.
But that's a mental level. If you think about it, the superhero level comes to bodily functions. You don't necessarily have to be
Like pooping.
You don't necessarily have to be mentally there. Quarterbacks, I'm gonna agree with you. They have to have a lot of strength in their arm, but a lot of players that are on like a superhuman level are the guys that play for 18 years on a position that is like cornerback or safety or linebacker
Tom Brady
or
has been
defensive
playing
tackle
since the age of like 12 years old.
I agree with
Slinging
you.
a fucking rock.
I agree with you.
Fucking hitting out routes, hitting the whole 9 yards this whole time. Actually, one of the biggest stories out there was when he was in high school. He came behind and won a game from being like down 28 points.
But
that's why he got recruited at Michigan. So, I mean, seriously, if you think about it, Tom Brady, you give him the 6th ring. Is he the best quarterback to play?
I mean, I will give him hands down the greatest quarterback to play, but I will say it has a lot to do with his coaching. Bill Belichick is a mastermind, but I will also say quarterback is probably one of the easier positions to play, as in bodily health. I'm not talking about
bodily health.
I'm talking about maintaining your body. You don't get hit a lot. You get
32
protected more than other.
There's 32 quarterbacks out in that league. They're gonna
64.
Well,
not 64.
Actually,
matter of fact, way more.
3 times 32
yes.
is what you're looking at.
Yes.
So,
and they get hit way more than a quarterback
every team
does.
holds 3 quarterbacks. So,
yes.
But
no,
still,
they will, because they need depth.
Well, but still, the point being, what you're saying is, dude, a 300-pound defensive lineman coming down your throat. I do not think you're the safest individual on the field.
The quarterback is the safest. He has the most protection. You will get fined and or penalized if you do hit him too hard.
Dominic Sue.
He did get fined and
he got
penalized
fined for doing some pretty stupid shit.
Yes, I agree. But I will say linemen are the ones that are in the trenches all the time getting hit. Not necessarily. I think wide receivers are the ones that get hit the most. Not all the time, but those are the ones that need the most physical capabilities to survive or last a long time in the
Super Bowl.
He's going to go down as the greatest. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from him.
Is he better than Jerry Rice?
Hell yeah. Well, no, it depends. As a player, yes, he has a mastermind.
You understand? We're talking about history here. Jerry Rice, the greatest football player of all time to play. If he wins his 6th ring, I believe it's 6. If I'm not
it's
mistaken.
Either 5 or 6. It's something like that.
Okay, I believe it's 6. I'm going to say this. 6. It's either 5 or 6. If Tom Brady wins that ring, is he better than Jerry Rice?
Are we talking about just being an athlete? If an athlete, Jerry Rice is going to be the better athlete, hands down.
I'm talking about being a professional football player.
It depends, because a quarterback position is completely different from the wide receiver position. As a wide receiver, you have to learn your route. As a quarterback, you're going to have to learn your offensive scheme, and you're going to have to learn other defensive schemes. As a mind, as a person that works with his mind, Tom Brady is going to be the better person, hands down, than Jerry Rice. Because Jerry Rice, all he has to do is run his route. he doesn't have to think about much more than being
Now,
able
does
to
he just
out.
run his route, or does he actually run his route off of anticipation and other things?
Most of the time, the offensive coordinator will write down the route for you. So you will go what the offensive coordinator says, but your skill will determine if you can fake out the other player, which depends down on your athleticism, which I think Jerry Rice obviously has the upper hand on Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is not necessarily
it's Jerry Rice.
yes, he's a freak of nature.
Receiver.
He's a freak of nature. Tom Brady, if you look at him, he looks like a skinny person, but I think as a football mind, Tom Brady has a better mind because he can read defenses.
So after this Super Bowl said and done, we're going to make our calls. I think the New England Patriots are going to win.
I think the same thing.
I think off of Tom Brady alone, he's going to do what Tom Brady does best.
If anyone can beat the Atlanta Falcons and outscore them, it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, because he can adjust his defense just to beat them.
NFL history, does that make Tom Brady the best NFL player in history?
It really depends on what you're going by. The greatest NFL mind?
I mean, he has 6 rings.
Yes, but are you really just going to go off of rings? It could be just Bill Belichick's.
I mean, honestly, think about how many players actually can sit there and give you a high 5 and a 6. I mean, Charles Haley is one of the few that can say, I got it done. Tom Brady, with one team, can actually get it done. Would that make him the best?
Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. I will say it. He's hands down the greatest quarterback. He might not have all the strengths other quarterbacks have, but I think he's the greatest quarterback right now that we have.
And you know what? I think you both lost the point of what the fuck a lightning round is. Holy shit!
No, we did not. It's Super Bowl weekend.
Ring it up.
Ring it up. We are done.
And this was Big Guys in Little Chairs. We will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace out.